Alexis. Hello, everyone. Yes, welcome. Let's see here. Alrighty. Welcome. I'd love to hear quickly, where's everybody from? Which city in the world you're in today, and possibly for this whole Love Lab live series. I'll be talking to you from Cape Town in South Africa. It's been a very interesting experience to be back here. I thought I was done with South Africa, and it turns out it's quite still magical. Lucerne, I'm not sure how to say that. Switzerland, amazing. Have you guys been here before? Yes, no? Is this your first time? We started the Love Lab live a couple of days ago. Yes, you've been here before. Got you. Thanks for coming back. And we're going all the way until February 17th. So every day there is a little bit of a different theme, always around dating patterns, swipe culture, and dating anxiety. So I assert that you're in some phase of dating. Maybe you're single. Good topic. Yeah, there are a whole array of topics. Maybe you're single, maybe you're early dating, starting to connect with people. Maybe you've been on 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates with the same person, or maybe you are already in a relationship. And this topic, no matter where you are on your love journey, is going to be beneficial for you to understand those immutable things that you know about yourself. So some people like me tend to think we are, planners, and we like to organize, and we like things to be structured, and we're very direct communicators. Whereas other people might be inclined, or they think it's a part of their personality, to just go with the flow, to just see where things go, to take it casually, to take it slow. And these are, we assume, personality traits, but they're kind of this whole aura about the person. Do you identify with any of these? Would you say you're more of the gotta know what's happening, when it's happening, have certainty, or you're more of the, we'll just see, we'll adapt, we'll go with whatever happens? And do you normally tend to relate to people that are super structured, planners? I gotta know, I got an answer. Or it could even be on the tidy and messy kind of personalities, right? So what we're going to unpack today in just 15 minutes, right? These are intended to be very short conversations and interactive conversations. So feel free to share as much or as little as you'd like. Is these things that we assert are a personality trait from the other person that we relate to or about ourselves, are a lot of times survival mechanisms. And what do I mean by that? Right? And this whole framework is embedded in complex trauma framework and the adaptations that we will have developed to survive early childhood, or to survive an environment that was inconsistent with the love that we were receiving, or maybe no love at all. And so the person who needs the answers, who needs a timeline, who wants to know exactly what and when we're doing something, that person adapted with hypervigilance, right? That person adapted with, okay, I need to know what's happening, when it's happening. And we function beautifully. Actually, these two sort of extremes function beautifully single, right? Because I can make my own schedule. I can create a structure, a routine. I'm not waiting on anybody's message. I can just know and control exactly what's happening in my environment. The moment I step into dating, the moment I step in relationships, then wait a minute. The people aren't operating under my control. I can't control how fast or how quickly someone responds. I can't control how clear they are with their schedules or their timelines or how organized they are. And then we think that's a mismatch. And then we think, okay, we're incompatible. Clearly, you're adding stress to my life, and this is something I should step out of it. And maybe it is. But if we're looking at this space, the space that I actually do have a lot of control over, can I notice and pause the moment I want a clear answer? The moment I want a straight answer, the moment I want the person to say, is it this or is it that? The moment I want to define the relationship, the moment I want to put boundaries, as in boundaries in like give containers. Am I doing that from survival? Or am I doing that out of, okay, this is really helpful? And there is a total different energy to it. So I've been talking about the planner, right? Or the person that wants to control. Let's talk about the other person. And I could really guess that you lean towards the one or you lean towards the other, unless you've really earned secure attachment, unless you've really grew up with secure attachment and it wasn't kind of traumatized in your dating and love life in your however age you are right now or by this time. The other person is the person who just likes to go with the flow. And so let's just see. Let's see how we go. I'll be in touch. We'll talk. I'll call you. Yeah, let's just see how the weekend's spanning out. We don't really need to define this or quite yet. And that person sees somebody's need for structure, somebody's need for whatever need actually as pressure. So now they're also not receiving it as input, as information, as, oh, that's curious. Let's have a conversation. What is that like for you? What would that be like? Would this work? Would that work? No, they're getting all of this as, oh my God, I'm feeling pressured. You know what? I don't think this is right for me. I can live my life very good by myself and I don't need all this anxiety. I don't know what's wrong with you. That person reads that request for containment, especially when they're stressed, as pressure, and they avoid, right? So the more the one person is asking for clarity, for containment, for systems, for organizing, the more the person that is reacting and that thinks this is just my personality, I'm not like this. I don't plan. I don't I don't care about that stuff. Is that a personality or is it a coping mechanism that you've developed when you didn't receive love, when you were afraid that love would be pulled away at any point, and so you made it even to yourself like you don't care, like it doesn't matter whether it happens or not, it's okay, I'm better with that. So I'm sharing these things and I really want to hear from you guys. What is landing? What's resonating? Do you know somebody that is the one? Do you know somebody that is the other? Do you identify as one of them? Hmm. Yeah. It's valuable to notice that there's nothing wrong with acting from survival, with having turned our personality, our actions, our behaviors into our personality. And I think, yeah, you're spot on. Um, Bringing up the work of Joe Dispenza, which also touches on these things, right? The things that I've done over and over and over, the things that I've said over and over and over become who I am, become my personality. But it's not who you are, it's not your essence, right? So when we say these traits are a personality, they're actually just you in survival. And identifying and noticing that is so helpful because you can then pause, and no matter what the other person is doing, no matter whether the other person is acting as if seemingly trying to control, or no matter if the other person acts as if not caring and dissociating or not replying or not understanding, you get to pause and take a step back and attend to the part of you that is getting activated by it. We're having these conversations because dating, and especially early dating, is so activating. And specifically, some environments like a dating app is so triggering for our insecure attachment, right? It really pulls those sides of us, those patterns of us, those actions. And if I can step back and ask myself, you know what? What is the part of me that wants certainty right now? Like, what is the part of me that needs to know whether I'm going to meet this person or not? What is the part of me that is feeling pressured? What is the part of me that wants to break free from this, that is feeling smothered? Oh, like, and then I can be with that side of me, right? And you can see like some physiological ways or some somatic ways to actually like be with that part. Because the moment I attend to that part, I know what to do. The moment I attend to that part and that part of me is not screaming or running or rebelling or trying to walk away or move towards, the moment I meet that part, then the adult me, the secure me, steps in and it can assess the situation accurately. And it can say, okay, I haven't heard from this person in a week and we're supposedly in a relationship. So either something really serious happened and I can, take the measurements, the measure is appropriate, or, oh, perhaps we're not in a relationship, right? Um, and grieve what that is. Or I can say, oh, well, I haven't heard from this person in 12 hours. It could very well be that they don't even check their phone more than once a day. It could well be that it's appropriate for me to call to know whether this is happening or not. It's appropriate for me to send a message to say, hey, haven't heard back. I'm going to go ahead and make other plans, but let's try Thursday or Friday or whatever it may be. Those strategies, those actions, those things that we want to know how to respond. What do I do when somebody's pressuring me? What do I do when somebody's mothering me? What do I do when someone is, not responding and pulling back? There is no formula. It's going to be a case by case situation of what's actually happening. And the only way to assess that is to assess those things that you call your trait, that you defend with your life. Like, but and the more we do those work, it's also more ammunition that we use to defend our unhealed parts. The more we think we're doing healing, sometimes the more we hide behind the knowledge. The more I say, well, systems and containers are important for a relationship. Oh, you know what? You shouldn't define a relationship in this timeline. Or you know, there is the theory and there is the research, and it's valuable. And there is what's actually happening here. And a lot of the times, what is actually happening here is a triggered nervous system, is a person in survival, and potentially also another person that's triggered in survival. So, my invitation to you is, where can you soften those personality certainties, those traits, those things that you have been defending, your freedom, your structures, your systems? Where could you soften them? Not for the other person, even for yourself, because those moments of friction are moments to still notice, oh, it still hurts here. Oh, it's still a little sore here. Oh, wow. I hadn't realized it's kind of sore here. So there are just signals to see, oh, it's still sore. And then I can do a little massage, a mental massage, an emotional massage, whatever it may be. Yeah. So I want to read the last couple of comments, and I'm going to wrap us here for today. And thank you so much for all of you that keep dropping these little donations and some significant donations every day. When we're talking together, it's just such a joy for me to receive your energy in different ways, in the comments, in monetary ways. It's like, yay, I feel like we should throw a party at the end of this. Just to acknowledge your presence, your contribution. Is it kind of like to be trauma aware or trauma informed dating? Yeah, exactly. And more so about ourselves, because yes, we can notice and we can spot trauma in other people's behaviors, but our job is really not to diagnose anybody. Probably not our jobs, really, right? Like, unless you're a psychotherapist or another person that is responsible for doing those kinds of diagnoses, it's not your job to diagnose anybody. It's your job to come back to yourself and to notice where trauma gets activated. Oh, yes, Ota Sharmer, absolutely. A lot of beautiful work with the Presencing Institute as well. It is such a pleasure. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. The theme for tomorrow. So, also really exciting to see lots of you who already RSVP'd for all the conversations up to 17th of January. You can do that on the platform. You can reach out to me on a message on the platform, I think, or you can find my details on my profile to reach out through my website to see other resources. Let's see, live events. Yeah, so tomorrow we're talking about you not being picky, you actually being in a phase of healing. So what is the distinction here? I assert a lot of us have been judged as picky. We have too high standards in dating. So if you've ever heard that from anybody else, if you've ever said that to yourself, you really want to be here tomorrow. And if you can't, make sure you go to my YouTube page and you can watch the recordings there. I could type it here, but it's basically youtube.com, yes, /AELOAH. So my name, ELOAH, with an A beforehand, because that's the Eloa in Portuguese. And you will also have access to the archives there. Yes, thank you so much for typing. That's the one. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and I will see you tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. See you tomorrow.